Yes, yes. Well, in general, but yes, when you see pictures of yourself and you go, oh,
Yeah, I
oh,
understand. I get it.
I I do. I show most of it in my jowls, like in my face.
Hmm.
Um, so got to take care of that. And you know what? I got on a scale. I didn't gain any extra weight. Like I don't. I think I was 263 pounds on the scale just now. I'm like, that's what I've been last 3 4 years.
Hmm.
So I just don't feel like I used to feel. So
Gotcha.
I just
Yeah.
gotta get back in
You're
shape.
getting older, man. It happens.
Yeah. So,
It
but
happens.
I still feel like I could do it. So I'm gonna try.
How was Gen Con?
Yeah. Gen Con was all right. It was
Yeah.
okay. It
Yeah, fun.
was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a
Yeah.
good time. Had a good time. Had a good time. I was telling I was telling people. I don't know if I want to get this on the world, but I don't care. I was telling one of my coworkers. I was telling Jamie. I was like, yeah, Gen Con is cool. It's fun. I'm not huge into. Jesus Christ, what is this thing doing
I
to
was
my
gonna say,
head?
I mean, if you
Jesus
want to live
Christ.
slim and shoulderless, there you go. It's cutting out the red in your jersey.
So I was like, you know what? There's Gen Con is cool, but I'm not a tabletop role playing guy. I
Hmm.
just never got into it. Right, that's not my thing. So it's going there is cool and everything like that. But we're there for a networking event for my other podcast,
Hmm.
and the I don't know anyone to network with. I don't know who's who. Like people will be walking and go, "Oh, that's so and he's on this podcast, and he does this, that." And I'm like, I don't have a clue. I don't know. I don't know enough of the space,
Hmm.
and I don't know enough of the games to have intelligent conversations with
Sure.
anyone who's in the know. Right?
Yeah.
If this was if we went to a game developers conference, I could talk. If I went to a video, there's subjects I can talk about
Hmm.
that this wasn't it. I was telling Jamie, I was like, you know what? I'm going to AVN, the porn convention, and I knew more people there than I know in this room right here. Maybe that
Sure.
says more about me, but
Yeah.
but
I.
it's just it's not that it's not my crowd. The crowd is genuine nice people.
Hmm.
It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
And you want to hear a funny story?
Yes.
Okay, funny story. No, it's not that funny.
I bet it's hilarious. Go on.
We get there on Thursday. Well, actually, yeah, was it Thursday? We get there Wednesday. The conference doesn't start till Thursday. So Thursday, I go get my badge, and we the first thing we do is we walk the expo floor. We
Hmm.
don't have our presentation until 5 o'clock that day.
Okay.
So we go. I'm walking the floor, walking and seeing, just kind of just looking. I'm immediately thousands of people. It's a whole lot of people.
Hmm.
And we walk, and of all the things I see, there's a booth. Is that Are those helmets? I think Jamie might have seen it first. Jamie goes, "Oh, Harland, take a look at this." Of all the TTRPG things in the entire place, I find the one booth that has mystery helmets, right? Football helmets,
Oh, okay.
where you open a box and you don't know who. It's an autographed helmet,
Is it? Was it a mini helmet or actual size helmet?
full size helmet. That's what
Okay.
got me to it. I don't have any
Did
helmets.
you buy one?
That I definitely did. Opened it up on the spot
And it was.
because wait, I wish I
Okay.
had the link. So that you go through the thing. So you click on the QR code. The
Hmm.
QR code says, "Hey, these are the top guys that are in this thing. You can get one of these guys. His autograph is in, maybe not in this, but in this pack of the 100 helmets. There, these are the top three guys that could possibly be in it. And there was some great names in it. I was like, oh man, this is great. But as I'm reading the names, I look at it, and one of them said Mac Jones. I said, if I get Mac Jones, I was like, listen here. I'm looking at all these great names, and of all these great names, Mac Jones is name in it. I said, listen, guys. I said, if I get Mac Jones, I'm gonna punt this helmet in the middle of this crowd. It's hitting someone in the head because I'm getting I don't want this. He was like, no, this he's like, you won't get Mac Jones. And then he was like, does it say it's there? And I said, yeah. He's like, oh, then you got a 1 in 100 chance to get Mac Jones. Like, that's too high of a chance. Right. So I was hoping that all the people on the list look great.
Hmm.
I open it up, And the first thing, of course, you see is the team, right? And I'm like, okay, it's a blue helmet. All right. Hopefully it's not a blue Patriots helmet, but I noticed the blue and it's the
Okay.
Titans blue.
Okay.
So I immediately go, oh, I got Derrick Henry,
That's
right?
my
That's
first
what I'm
thought.
thinking.
Yep.
I take the helmet out. I'll look at the autograph. It is Earl Campbell, Hall of Famer Earl
Nice.
Campbell.
Yeah.
He's never played for the Titans
No, he
though.
played for the Oilers, didn't he?
Exactly. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Like if it was an Oilers helmet, if it's I understand what they were doing, but he never played for the Titans.
Yeah, that's bad.
So I was like, I love the fact that I got Earl Campbell. I'm here in Austin, Texas. He's a UT legend. I love that I have, but I'm just upset that it's on a Texans jersey instead of a Texas helmet instead of an Oilers.
It's on the Texans or
It's
Titans?
no Texans. Sorry, it's on the Titans.
Okay.
It's on the Titans.
I thought
And
you
I
were
was
gonna
like,
say if you got Mac Jones, you're gonna pull a Miles Garrett and like grab him by the face mask and start beating
just
people with
break
it.
it.
Because I think I would do that. Mac Jones is tough.
Why would he? That shows you that these were sent like maybe his rookie year. He's just signing helmets, and
Yep.
now they can't give it away,
Yep.
so they throw it in the mystery
Yes.
box.
But of all the mystery helmets you could have got, you got a good autograph, bad
Yes,
helmet.
bad helmet, good autograph, bad helmet, and they had autographed NBA basketball sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
They had autographed NBA jerseys, all
Mm-hmm.
mystery boxes. NBA, they had football jerseys, baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys, sneakers. I wish they had autographed comic books, but they were mystery comic books. Like, oh, you can get this, you can get a like this particular issue, like New Mutants 100. This might be like so. They had a bunch of mystery box stuff like that and cards. So that's why the booth was there. But of all the things in the whole DreamCon, I find I buy the
Football
one
helmet at Gen Con.
football
That's awesome.
helmet. Yes, it was great. But it was, other than that, we had a pretty good panel.
Yeah.
We had a pretty yeah, it was all right. It was a lot of yeah, some drinking was done, a lot too much probably.
Mm-hmm.
Some parties, some schmoozing,
Yeah.
but I don't know anyone, so it's hard to schmooze when you don't know anyone.
Yeah. That makes it tough.
Yeah, but other than that, though, it was decent, decent.
I think what's interesting, and I appreciate it because I like it a lot, because I would be in the same boat. It's not that I'm not interested in tabletop role playing games. I just don't have the space. I don't play the games. I would if
Yep.
somebody said, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll figure it out." But I've never really played. I don't know anybody else. We had that class with Dave Arneson in school, who one of the
Yep.
co-creators of Dungeons and Dragons, who I think is like historically been written off of like like excluded as one of the creators, right? That's about all I know, right? That would be my contribution. Oh, I met Dave Arneson once. Who
Well,
like
so I've told people I've met Dave Arneson, but we had Luke Gygax. We interviewed Luke Gygax on our show.
mm-hmm,
The son of Gary
Gary Gygax,
Gygax,
yeah.
the one who the one that Arneson didn't like because
Yes.
he's credited and what's his name is not.
Yes.
Uh, I was specifically told on that podcast not to mention Dave Arneson's name.
Man, if I was told that, I would still have a hard time not mentioning it.
So it was like, oh, okay, but because that's my only. And people be like, oh man, what game would you play? I played Munchkin and Catan, maybe the most. That's like saying, oh, what's your favorite video game? Oh, it's Tetris. Oh,
Yeah. Tetris followed by Pac-Man.
yeah,
And
yeah.
pitfall.
I'm a gamer. I'm a gamer.
Yeah, I played tons of Candy Crush. That's what Munchkin is. Munchkin's like Candy Crush, I think.
Yeah.
Like people at those things, like they like don't even like to acknowledge Munchkin as an existence. I don't know why. It's fine.
Yeah, no, I like Munchkin. They had a Marvel Munchkin. I almost picked it up for the kids for us to play.
I love Catan, and I got it.
Yeah.
I got it for Hadley for Christmas. We haven't played it yet. Was it
That's
August?
what
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna do, play it with the kids. But I was telling somebody the reason why I don't play a lot of those tabletop games is the sitting down and playing and sometimes too much. Like learning the rules and sitting down and trying to figure it out. It's an hour before you start playing. Now,
Yes.
granted, it helps if you play it with people who know the game, so
Hmm.
they can kind of give you the cliff notes and then run you through a game and then you can do it. But if I'm buying a game that I've never played or I've only played just from a demo and then I got to go home and teach it to my kids or I got to teach it to myself, it's hard for me to get into. It's like the barrier entry level is just, but if you've played many of the games, you're like, oh, that game is sort of like this game. Oh, it's
Hmm.
sort of like this game. You have a frame of reference. I don't have a frame of reference.
Yep.
So just trying to sit down for an hour just to learn the rules of how to play the game just doesn't appeal to me.
That's why I've never gotten into Dungeons and Dragons
Mm-hmm.
because I have never played. I don't know how to play. And Hadley has interest and wants to play it, and I like, well, we'll figure out we'll play it together. And I open it up, I look at it all, and my eyes go like glaze over, and I start to drool, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, kid. I'm sorry. Like if we had one person that knew how to do any of it, that could guide us through, we would like it would we would get going and maybe figure it out. But like we don't even know where to start. We don't know like how to like. Do I have to
I
come up with an
was
adventure? I don't have the capacity to sit down and come up with an
you
adventure.
don't like so what I've learned is like they have adventure books and
Mm-hmm.
you just read them and they have all the enemies and you can just read through the adventure book and play the game just like that. Make your character play the game like that. Now it does help to know the rules of combat and does help to know the rules and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But so what I've heard is that you can just most times just go to a game tavern or like a game store and find a game master that's around and he'll gladly bring new people to the table.
Hmm.
But
Maybe we'll do
like
that.
my kids want to play as well, and I was going to get my buddy Turner, who's is in the pot, and I was like, yeah, I kind of want you to run us through a game or something. Anthony plays it, Dungeons and
Mm-hmm.
Dragons, been playing it for years. His brother can run through games. Like it's just a now that I know people, I'm like, oh, okay, I can probably get a game. But yes,
Mm-hmm.
before that, but it's never really interested me. I ain't gonna lie, it never did.
Yeah. And I believe that you were never like I think the Venn diagram of like interest in Dungeons and Dragons and like MMOs I think are like World of Warcraft. Like you would play World of Warcraft only because you like to be a solitary rogue that could go invisible and stab people in the back and run away, right? Like
Which is the character that I play
yes,
on the Dungeons and Dragons that we
like
have now.
I'll play this MMO, but only as a character I can play as a solo, and I don't want to interact with anyone, and I don't care. I don't want to read the story. I just want to do the
Yeah,
stuff.
I like combat. I would like to play it, and yeah, I play PvP way too much in that,
Yeah.
without ever playing
Hmm.
the boards.
Yeah.
Did you pick a Boulder's Gate?
No, because it's only for PS5 and
Oh, okay,
PC.
you know, yeah,
So
yeah, but
and and I don't have the time. Like
it's
I keep wanting to play a game. Like I have Elden Ring.
Boulder's Gate is Dungeons and Dragons though.
I know.
Like even the dice rolls that they roll in the game, it's all Dungeons and
Oh, is it really?
Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of gives you want to play Dungeons and Dragons, but play the video game version of it. That's it.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that. It's a lot of time though. Like every time I see it, it's like,
It's a
oh, it's
lot.
80 hours. I'm like, oh, God bless America, 80
Yeah,
hours.
I didn't get past Act One. It's
No,
three acts. And I thought I played for a while too.
he probably played 30 hours just to get to there. I'm like,
But
no.
it's just that they have so many different storylines and plots, and I know people that's played a bunch of them,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of them.
Yeah. No, I saw a clip online where I was like, whoa, this piques my interest. Like a guy walked into a hut and somebody was having sex with this giant like troll person.
Beer. There's bear sex in the
Oh, no, this was like some like ogre or something like that. I'm like, ooh,
the
this is interesting. Maybe I want to play this game. But I'm like, I don't even know how to get there and how long it's going to take. I'm going to have to get a PS5 at $500 to see ogre sex. I'll just draw a picture, I guess, if I have to.
That's the best way to do it. Draw
Hmm.
pictures.
Oh,
Oh man.
boy. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, it was
Glad
all
you
right. It
made
was
it
good.
safely back. Flights were
Yes.
canceled.
No
Uh,
flights were canceled. No. A
nope.
flight delayed while going there. Not none canceled. Not can't say the same for all of our friends, but yes.
No, because Jamie had to drive from Indianapolis back
he
to
should
Chicago.
he should have drove to Indy. He's from Chicago to
I
Indianapolis.
was talking to him about that. He's like, yeah, I didn't think about just driving there and then returning the car. And then,
That's what I told him
yeah,
after he got the ticket. I was like, he's like, yeah, but I would have the for the whole day. I was like, no, you wouldn't. We would get around. You all you need to do is drive from airport to airport.
yeah,
Drop it off. Uber when you're around the city like the rest of us, or
yeah,
just hang out with us. And then he's like, oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
yeah. Yeah, you could have gone round trip for like $25 plus gas.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
I mean, shoot, I mean, I don't know what the cheapest car to rent is, but I can't imagine he would need much more than a two-door hatchback.
Yep. Yep. Maybe $50, depending on how early he would have got it
Yep.
for one day.
Yeah.
Car $50 for a day. That's it.
Yeah, because it's not that far.
Cheaper.
I mean,
Cheap.
it's not
Yeah.
a terribly long drive. I think it's like 6 hours or whatever.
Three. It was three.
It was a 3 hour drive. That's it.
It was a 3 hour
And he
drive for
flew.
him.
Oh,
It
I'm
was
kind
a
of
30
disappointed
minute
in him now.
flight. It was a 30-minute flight.
Yeah, you're right because I drove from my house, which is 90 miles north of Chicago, to just east of Indianapolis, and it was like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
From our hotel room or from the airport to airport was, he said, 3.5 hours is what it said. So.
I'm very disappointed in him now. I mean, shoot, that's like a couple podcasts, then you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a quick drive. It's not even a tank. Well,
Mm-mm.
it will be one tank. So he'd have to fill up one time just so he could have the full tank. But it wouldn't use a full tank.
Mm-mm.
He'd get down to maybe a quarter, a little bit more than a quarter tank, and then that's it.
No, not even. If you're
Not
driving,
even.
so when we drive from where we're at down to my in-laws' houses, that's like a 4.5 hour drive. That's like half a tank.
And that's about half a tank. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I told him.
Very
He
disappointed now.
went.
Oh well, you know what I'm not disappointed in
What's that?
the
Is that?
the end of Hard Knocks last week.
Oh, oh man. That that was the culmination of everything that we saw.
I know.
Was their season, what they worked for. And yeah. You know what I was thinking?
Hmm.
They showed Joe Shane look like a genius in the picks, like who's gonna get what and where it's gonna get what. And I was like, did they re-edit that? Like how difficult would it have been? It took place how many months after the actual draft?
Hmm.
How many months would it have been? Because he's like, what if there's a run on uh safeties, cornerbacks? Well, this one will be off the board. This one will be, and this will be our guy. I was like, did you get it that like hit the nail on the head? But
I don't know. The thing I just watched it again before a couple
uh-huh.
hours ago, and the thing that I didn't like, which I think is like indicative of everything that the show was, is nothing seemed like he had a real definitive plan. Because he's like, we'll let the board dictate how we go. I'm like, then you're dumb. Like you're dumb. You have to have a plan. You have to
But
know what your goals are, and if it's not possible at your pick, then you got to find a way to move down and or move wherever so you can get whatever it is. If it's moving up to make sure you get a guy because you love a guy, or if it's realizing the value isn't there where you're at, then you drop back, right? Like it felt like
I
it was willy nilly.
but that feels like the secret sauce, like what they don't, the part that they don't want to show,
Yes.
how we ranked our players, where, how this guy, why we have this guy on our board versus this guy, because he said, all right, first pick, we got to get a playmaker. They went with Malik Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Second round, they were like, well, we lost Xavier McKinnon and we lost
Mm-hmm.
some they had also lost Adoree Jackson, which they didn't bring up at all because they lost him in free agency. But so he said the second round they needed a cornerback.
Yep.
And then those two cornerbacks went off the board, so they just went and got a safety.
Yep. What I thought was funny is they only had two though, right? And there were 14 picks in. They
They
were
only had
they were they had two they
yes,
had two cornerbacks they wanted. They wanted Kool Aid McKinstry out of Alabama, and
which yeah.
they wanted Lassiter out of wherever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like these are our guys, but they knew they had to go 14 picks, and those were like the top two cornerbacks on the board left on the board. So
Yes.
the odds of them losing out on a cornerback were pretty of those two guys being gone were better than 50%, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think.
But then they have the whole thing, but then they flash back and says, if those two guys are gone, then let's go with, was it Ty Corbin? I think it was, is the safety that they
Yeah,
wind up
safety
going
out of
with.
Minnesota. I can't remember his name
Yeah.
is. Which
So
was a fine pick. It felt like they were just like I don't know. They felt like me doing a mock draft on PFF,
I,
right?
I don't know. I felt like he knew what he was doing this draft. Like I said, I didn't feel any, oh boy, the Cowboys just traded up
Yeah,
They
that
just
didn't help him.
traded out the Devonta Smith stuff where I felt like the Giants didn't know what they were doing and then scrambled. I felt like they knew who even their fourth round pick was a guy that they showed earlier. Well, of course they show it. Them going to training camp about the tight end from
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, which I'm hoping he turns out to be really good.
It'd be nice.
Because everything I'm hearing is that he may break the starting lineup
Well, that'd be
this
awesome.
year. Yeah, it'd be awesome, but not awesome all in the same. If you rookies comes in and beats a Daniel Bellinger, who was I think a second or third round tight end, not but 2 years ago, meaning we didn't get the production out of Daniel Bellinger that we wanted.
Or this kid's just
Right.
really good,
Or he's really good.
which
I
I
hope
mean
that's
is
the
not out of
latter.
the possibility.
It's not. It's not. He's got the all the measurable, bigger measurables
Mm-hmm.
than Daniel Bellinger has. So that would be great. But
All right. Well,
yeah.
let's talk about your playmaker then,
Phew, whew,
Malik Neighbors.
whew.
So I know I know you've been all woo, and we know it. We know it's practice. We know it's preseason. It's easy to get really hyped up, right?
I'm talking about what I watched him do in the live practices with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. So
He is absolutely killing
that's why
them.
I'm going to pull up these numbers, and once again, these are
Yeah,
just
practice
preseason
numbers.
practice numbers, right? Malik Neighbors last 2 days versus Lions, 17 catches on 18 targets and 2 touchdowns. Basically unstoppable per Jordan Raanan. Everything thrown his
Yeah.
way, he's catching. More impressive than Garrett Wilson and rookie Odell Beckham Jr. The hype on this kid is justified.
Uh, Everything I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
he is unguardable.
Yep.
But everything I've
Super
seen,
fast, good hands. Yeah.
great hands. He's got amazing separation. The only thing I worry about is can Daniel Jones get the time with the offensive line to get the ball downfield?
And Daniel Jones
That
gets
is-
get the ball downfield sometimes. I've seen a few
yeah,
where he
he's been
was
having problems with that.
struggling. Yeah.
Could be he's just not putting enough into it. He doesn't trust the knee.
I mean,
Don't know.
it's practice, right?
It's practice.
Don't know. Don't know.
Yep.
It's fun to get excited, and I hope Malik Neighbors turns out to be really good because it'd be exciting. I just hope he did. I'm the one with jinx. I just hope he turns out to be really good, and I hope Roma Dunze better. That's all.
The other things I've been seeing is the offensive line has not looked good
Mhm.
going against the ones like the Giants defensive line versus the Giants starting offensive line. The Giants defensive line is getting the better of them every day.
Yeah.
Every day. But I heard that when the Giants offensive line went up against the Detroit Lions offensive line, they looked better. So I'm hoping it's just a steel sharpened steel kind of thing. And
Oh, yeah.
going up against Dexter Lawrence, Burns, and Thibodeau in practice is making them better. Because
When you say
yeah,
those three out loud, that's a really impressive
it's yeah.
three, right?
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence is one player bruised his ribs. One
Mhm.
offensive lineman for the Giants bruised his ribs, and he said, "I just ran into Dexter Lawrence." That's what he
Mhm.
said. He said that man didn't move when I hit him. He's a very big guy.
Yeah.
That's I was like, that's what I like to hear.
See, and I know those guys are all on the Giants, right?
Yeah.
But when you hear them all together, because Brian Burns is really good. I'm glad he's out of the Panthers, and Thibodeau, and this is his third year.
Third year. This is his
Right.
third year. Yep.
So he should be that NFL strong. He should start figuring out. He should be if he was worth the number 4 pick, he should be
Yeah.
in the backfield consistently, right?
First year he had 4.5 sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Second year he had 11.5
Okay, so
sacks.
that's a nice jump.
So this year
Well, so
he,
yeah, I mean
he's
that's
yeah, he's
real nice.
hoping for big things. Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll help because Brian Burns is on the other side.
And Dexter Lawrence is up the middle.
Yeah,
Like
so
you-
that's a
that-
tough
that-
three
yeah.
rush right there. You might have one of the better pass rushes in the NFL.
Yeah,
And
I'm
I think
hoping.
the Lions have one of the better pass rushes in the NFL too. Because
Mhm.
Aiden Hutchinson was at
Aiden
same
Hutchinson.
draft as Kayvon
Yep.
Thibodeau.
Went
And
number
Kayvon
one.
Thibodeau was the third pass rusher off the board. So
Was he the third one?
yeah, because remember the Jags,
The-
they couldn't trade out of the number 1 pick because they already had Trevor Lawrence from the year before. So then they took I can't remember what the kid's name is. The high ceiling, low floor.
If we can't remember his name, that's not good.
But he was better last year than he was the previous year. I
Was
just
the
can't remember what his
freaking-
name is off the top of my head. It's not Josh Allen, the pass rusher. It's
No,
the other
no,
guy.
he's the good. He's really good.
Yeah. Trev Trayvon. No.
Edward? No, not Edmonds.
Christ. Now you're
Don't worry,
gonna force me
I've
to look
got
it
it.
up.
I got it. I
Okay.
got it. Don't worry about
Good.
it.
Good. Good.
Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker. Right. He started off. He was like a high ceiling guy. Like, oh, it's all the potential in the world. So they took him number one because it was a terrible quarterback draft and they couldn't get anybody to jump up to one. Like the Steelers weren't going to jump up to number one to get Kenny Pickett. So, yeah.
He had 10 sacks last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's turned it up a
He
little
got
bit.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then I also saw this today, and I want to share it with you because I thought it was funny. This is from I have no idea who this guy's name is. He's certified, verified Twitter account, which is $8. He's Ralph Vacciano. Does that name sound familiar?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a used to be a writer for he definitely writes for New York sports. Yeah, I know, bro.
Yes, I said it. Daniel Jones's $166 million contract is looking like a bargain for the Giants. And if he plays anything like he did in 2022, it's going to look like a steal. Where
Yes.
my guy Warren Sharp here responds with, out of 47 quarterbacks last year, Jones ranked. Now, granted, he didn't play the whole season. 44th in percentage of throws to travel beyond the first down marker, only 37%. 42nd in yards per attempt with 6. 41st in target depth, 7.1 yards per target depth. 39th in completion rate, 56%. 33rd in first down conversion rate at 31%, and 26th in EPA at negative 0.16.
First of all, that is I don't think those are his 2022
No, that was last year.
stats.
So that was
That was
2023.
last year where he only played 6 games. And when he did come back, he was playing through a hurt neck,
Yeah.
which he always
That's
has.
what I'm saying. Like,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
All I'm going about is Ralph's statement.
yeah.
If he can play at the 2022 level, the level that the Giants made the playoffs, the year that they paid him, it would be a steal. He would be playing in the top 15 in quarterbacks. He'd be a top 15 quarterback, making the only people who
Top
make less
15
than
money.
him. Yeah, the only people who make not at that point in time. By that time, 15, there'll be so many quarterbacks who'll be making more money than him. Hey, like we did the math. He's no longer even in the top
We did
10.
last week. He's number 8.
He's number 8 in
This year
in dead cap space.
No,
And
he's
his
number
cap
8
and
is in cap hit
not
this
in
year, yeah.
$99 per year. Because
No.
all those people who just signed recently, their cap hits have been pushed further, so they're lower. But in dollars per year, his $40 million or $42 million he's making, I think he's actually making more.
I think it was close to 50, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think he might be making more this year.
I think it was
But
like
I meant
4
his,
years,
his
190 million, right, or something like that.
no, it was 4 years for 160, 165, I think it was. Because it only came out to like 42 a year, 43 per.
Oh yeah, you're right. 160. Was there bonuses that could make it up to 190 or something like that?
His contract, exactly. His contract to me was not that. Wasn't that large.
It was
Geno
a lot.
Smith.
It
was a
felt
lot
like
at
an
the.
enormous amount of money.
It felt like enormous amount of money for what people say. Oh, you paid that much for Danny Dimes. Like, okay, but what are you paying for your quarterback? Name your team? What are you paying for your quarterback? The only team, like that's the only team with a starting level quarterback. You either got a guy on his rookie deal, or you're paying an exuberant amount of money for a quarterback. Those are your options.
Yep.
If he's not on the rookie deal, you're paying a lot. And for someone who we have who's not on his rookie deal, we're not paying a lot to. We're paying market value, less than market value. I think now.
Here's why his cap hit is higher than his APV. Because the first year of the deal, his cap hit was only 15 million.
Yes, it's the same thing that we're seeing with all those other teams who guys are getting paid $60 million a year, but cap hit's only like 20.
Right.
So, I go by his yearly salary, because next year he's still be making $40 million and may only be a 20-something million dollar cap hit. He's still
So his cap hit next year is 47.8. This year is 47.8.
Yeah.
His cap hit next year is 41.6. and his cap hit in the fourth year is
Oh,
58.6.
yeah, it's his dead cap if they release him. That is
If
the
they release
it's
him,
20.
it's
It's 20
11
something
million
mil.
in the last year, 22 next year.
Yeah,
So
that's what it
there's the
was. Dead
potential
his
out
dead
at
cap.
22 million.
Mhm. That's why it was to me. It always felt like a 2 year deal. I said it
Yeah,
when they signed it. Like it felt like a 2 year deal. That's it. I'm fine with a 2 year deal.
yeah.
It was if you could have gotten if the Giants would have got what they thought they were going to get, it would have been well worth it. That's all I'm saying. His injury hurt him. It's really hurt him because if he does not perform this year, which at this rate, I think he's got more tools than he's had ever in his career. Um,
I don't know, man.
he
I think
he's
I
had
think he's got the same amount of tools.
Kenny Galladay
Was trash.
was trash.
Well,
Waller turned
let's
out to
look at
not to be that
last year.
great.
Last year he had
Golden
Saquon,
Tate he had, yeah, last year.
Saquon, and Darren
Yep,
Waller was supposed to be a target, right? Like that was the big
yep.
thing. Like they traded for
Those were the
Darren Waller.
big two. Those were the
Okay,
big
and
three.
then he had drafted Jalen
Jalen
Hyatt.
Hyatt.
Okay, we got a
Yep.
rookie wide receiver. What was he? A
In the third
second rounder,
round,
second, third
third
rounder,
rounder.
right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, there's a level of expectation with it, but it's not great, right? It's not.
Yep. Not
It's
for
not
a
enormous.
rookie third round wide
Yeah,
receiver. He's yeah.
and
You're
then
not expecting him to come in like light it up.
they had the couple of guys. So
Darius Slayton,
Darius Slayton, right? So you have a
Wandell
bunch of threes,
Robinson,
twos and
a
threes,
bunch of
bunch
threes
of
as a wide
threes.
receiver.
But you had Saquon and Darren Waller. Don't those that was supposed to be like the 1-2
That
punch
was
right
supposed
there,
to be
right?
it. Yes. Mhm.
And that didn't happen. Now what do they have this year?
This year they have Malik Neighbors, a second year Jalen Hyatt,
A bunch of threes, no Saquon Barkley,
no Saquon Barkley,
and no experienced tight end other than you know,
other than Daniel Bellinger, who's
yeah.
the experienced tight end, which I like Daniel Bellinger. He's just I like him. But yeah, they don't have an experienced tight end, and Devin Singletary is an experienced running back.
He's a decent
He's
back, but
he's he's not
Saquon
Saquon Barkley.
replacement, right?
He's not technically production wise, numbers wise, yes, but talent wise, no.
No, not there,
Talent
right?
wise, no. But offensive line should be better. He
Hopefully,
should be
yeah.
playing with a better offensive line than he's played with in multiple years,
Hopefully, yeah.
which matters in
Yeah,
my
for
opinion
sure.
matters.
It does.
Um, and that's really it. The offensive line, he hasn't had a quarterback. He hasn't had a wide receiver of Malik Neighbors caliber
No,
ever.
no, heavens no,
Ever.
no.
So that alone is to me helpful,
So
right?
the Giants, in all of my memory, right, said Malik Neighbors
Hmm.
now. Then they had OBJ before that.
Yes.
Then they had what's his name?
Victor Cruz,
Victor
if you
Cruz, right? He was a nice
uh-huh.
player. What was the dude you guys drafted? Well, did you draft
We
him? Or
had
did you give him
Hakeem Nicks.
Hakeem Mix?
Hakeem
Dude that
Nicks.
shot himself in the foot at the strip club.
Oh, Plexico Burrs.
Plaxico Burst. I always liked him from Michigan State.
Yeah.
Um, he
Mhm.
was always. I always felt he never lived up to his potential.
He was
Um,
an but when he was a Pro Bowler when the Giants got him
mm.
from
Oh yeah, they got
Pittsburgh.
him from the Steelers. Steelers drafted him.
Yeah, Steelers drafted him. He was a Pro Bowler then,
Yeah.
but kind of a malcontent.
Yeah.
Like apparently the
Every wide
Steelers
receiver that
have
goes to the
every
Steelers.
wide receiver is this. But came with the Giants, was a Pro Bowler for the Giants as well.
Yeah.
And at that time, we had him and Amani Toomer.
Yeah, Monty Toomer I always liked too, as like
And
a
And
complementary
Shockey, I
guy.
think, was there as well.
Yeah.
It was just like that was a good group of people. Um Hakeem Nicks, Mario Manningham, that was a good group. I
Hmm.
like not not world beaters, but you threw Victor Cruz in there. It's like,
Hmm.
Victor Cruz is still my favorite wide receiver.
I know.
Uh, yeah,
I see Victor
just
Cruz love occasionally when I'm scrolling through Twitter, and it
it's
makes
well
me chuckle.
deserved. It's well deserved.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure. Oh man,
Oh,
what are my messages? I'm getting messages from somebody. I'm sure it's not anything of any importance. Nope. Not. All right. All right. So Hard Knocks finished.
yes.
Everything finished the way we knew it would because we'd already seen the draft.
We saw the draft.
There were
Yes,
no surprises.
I predicted it exactly how it was gonna go.
No surprises. Uh, and now we have the next Hard Knocks is on right now, and I'll be watching
Hmm.
it as soon as we're done here. And it is the Bears. And be prepared for just it's going to be Bears love. Bears are going to be the team that people love for some reason, and they'll be also be the team
That's because Hard
that
Knocks.
people hate. People will vehemently hate them for no reason other than people love them. People will be cheering for them, right? And that happens. It's okay. I can deal with that. I don't get not very often is my team lovable enough. Speaking of unlovable, and it's totally not even football related. It's baseball related. The White Sox are going for their 22nd loss as we speak.
Oh,
22nd consecutive loss.
is it looking like it? The stars are
I don't even
pointing
know.
towards.
I don't even know. Let's see.
I'll start. I'm already on it.
Oh no, they're in
Oh,
Oakland, so
so
they haven't
games hasn't
started yet.
started yet. The game started.
They're currently 27 and 88. They have lost 21 straight games. They
I
have to
w-
win 17 out of the next like 50 games to not be the
be the
worst team
worst
in
ever.
history, which would mean, which I looked up today, is like a 37% winning percentage clip when they're at like 22% right now. So I
They
just
gotta
don't
get
see it.
hot. They gotta get hot.
They're oh god, they're gonna lose 130 games.
I will say that their starting pitcher that they're going up against is 2 for 10,
It don't
two
matter.
two with a 5.64 ERA.
I saw today the White Sox are like 0 and 55 when down after six. What? Like how is that even possible?
They just give up. Oh, they beat us already,
Really?
guys.
And the manager has not been fired. So I don't know why that exists. And I wanted to show you this too because this happened last year when the new GM took office. Chris Getz, former White Sox player, and he had this to say. He
Player
goes,
turn GM.
"Yep. Well, he was a player, and then he's a GM. I don't like our team. So what did he do? He made it
Double
worse.
down. He doubled.
It's like I don't like our team, and I don't want you to like him either.
Well, listen, he was talking about personally. He didn't like those guys personally, so he
Clearly,
got rid of the guys he didn't like personally. Now he likes those guys.
yeah. Oh, I
They're
love this
very
team.
good guys. They're good. They're good guys personally. They're just not very good at their job.
No, it's a terrible, terrible team. God, I hate it so much. Oh, I had some football stuff. Oh, we got. Oh, so remember in Hard Knocks we talked about how your boy Dayball was name dropping Nick.
Yes.
So a little preview snippet from today's Hard Knocks is Eberflus talking with Nick. He's got him in person. He's not even on the phone.
Oh, Nick.
I was excited
He's like,
about
oh,
that.
you. He's like, you got his number. I can bring him in. He can talk to
Yeah,
me.
I flew him in on my private jet. I got that kind of power. Dayball.
Nick
So
just had to get everything in 2 cents in everywhere he could get.
So two of our more hilarious quarterbacks that were drafted this year, Bo Nix and JJ McCarthy,
Mm-hmm.
are apparently both number 3 on the depth chart.
I was about to say the Vikings released their first official depth chart. I think
Yes.
I didn't see where he was at. I wanted to look.
It
He's
goes
third.
Darnold, Nick Mullins, JJ McCarthy. Now,
Yeah,
for the
you can't have the
Broncos,
man holding a clipboard.
it goes Jarrett Stidham, uh, MILF Hunter, what's his name?
Zach
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 Wilson,
Wilson.
then Bo Nix.
He might hold the clipboard on that team. He
Yeah,
may not suit up.
yeah. They
Could you imagine a first round pick not even suiting up for the game?
That's what we're looking at.
A high first round pick.
Yeah, well, he went like number 12, right? Number 11,
Mhm.
number 12. Bo Nix.
Not suiting up. That's why Zach Wilson's job
He was the
is in
6th
jeopardy.
damn quarterback off the board. 6 quarterbacks off the board usually don't suit up. They don't even make the team sometimes when you're the 6th quarterback off the board.
Yeah.
This is the 6th quarterback
Yeah, but he
off the board, and it was in the 12th pick.
But Lamar was like the fifth quarterback off the board in his draft, right?
Yeah, but do you remember what that draft was?
Yes.
It was Joe Burrow, Tua,
Allen
Josh Allen.
was Josh Allen was in there. Was
No,
Drew Rosen?
Josh Allen was the same draft as oh Christ, no, I can't remember. That was the 2020 draft. 2020
God.
NFL draft. Feels like I do this every week.
Yes.
It was Joe Burrow, then Tua,
Hey, that's not the
then
20. You
Justin
said the
Herbert, and then oh no, wait, that wasn't 2020. Shoot, was it? Was it 2021? Must have been 2019.
Lamar Jackson draft class. 2018 draft. And that draft, oh, come on, give me the picks. First pick, Baker Mayfield. Second pick, Sam Darnold. Not second pick. Second quarterback, Sam Darnold. Third quarterback, Josh
Yeah,
Allen. Fourth quarterback, Josh Rosen.
yeah,
That's the last quarterback.
and
Fifth
then Lamar.
quarterback was Lamar.
But I mean, Baker, Allen, Lamar. That's not a bad three. So
Darnold number two.
Darnold, and Rosen were the misses, right? But
Yes.
Darnold's the starter in Minnesota right now,
He's possibly a starter.
right? And like even like the 2019 was Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones. I don't even know what the sixth quarterback. I don't even want to look for it, but it was a 2020. That was the one I was thinking of because that's a big hit. That's Joe Burrow,
At some point in time,
Tua.
Hertz is in that group, is way down there. He might have been a sixth quarterback off the board, one of those guys.
Who?
Uh Hertz.
That's what I'm looking at. So I think 2020 is that because it's Burrow, Tua, Herbert, and then you got Jordan Love,
That's a hit.
and then you got maybe Hurts isn't there. Yeah, he is. 53rd overall, and then Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, sometimes you hit on the
Sometimes, but
on
it's
the
usually not pulling six quarterbacks in the first 12 picks.
yeah, that's tough. There's never six quarterbacks that are that close
No,
in talent.
nope.
And usually the drop off is dramatic.
Yes, after the first two or three, yeah.
So there's no time where you was like, you know what? I got Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels right there.
No,
I can either get Jaden or I can get Bo Nix. I got him. Like this never that's never a thing.
it wasn't happening. And what's funny about this last draft, and who knows how it all shakes out, but at the time of the draft, it was Caleb by a long stretch, and then it
Hmm.
was will it be Jaden Daniels, will be Drake May, and people were arguing that Drake May was closer to Caleb than Jaden was to Williams, all that other stuff, right? And then you had panics. People were like, oh, maybe a second rounder. McCarthy, oh, maybe a second. Bo Nix was never in that conversation of like, he might go maybe on the top three. No,
No, no,
nobody's thought that.
no,
And
no.
who knows? Maybe if Bo Nix turns out to be the best quarterback out of this lot,
He's got to
um,
get a chance. That's another thing. He's
yeah,
got to get a chance. If you're and his chance is not going to be in the game. So his chance is going to be what they see in practice,
mm-hmm.
what they see in preseason. So if right now in practice, now granted, this is the first depth chart. He's going to get more preseason reps and
Oh
hopefully
yeah,
they move up. But it it seems weird that they would bring someone like Zach Wilson in, and I guess you could. You got him. You still want to compete. You still want competition. You
yeah.
can't just give the guy, especially someone like that, the pick.
You need a
But
quarterback. Yeah. So after
Jason,
Bo Nix, you know who the next quarterback taken was?
no.
Spencer Rattler at 150.
Yeah, Spencer
And then
Rattler.
after that was
I don't
Jordan
think they took.
Travis at a 171, fifth round, compensatory pick, right? Like, usually there was another quarterback taken until the fifth round. Usually there's a quarterback, like, sprinkled in every round, it feels like. Except we had six in the first. And there was one
The
in the sixth,
question,
Joe Milton.
the question is, like, could they have used those picks on someone else?
Yeah,
Or did Michael Penn or did the Atlanta Falcons and Michael Penix just ruin everyone?
it's possible.
Like
Yeah.
like what happened with the like I always say the trade the divide no one saw that coming,
Mm-mm.
right? And when they didn't see it, when they didn't have it, a team that might have been trying to get JJ McCarthy couldn't get JJ McCarthy because the Vikings went and got him. And then
Yep.
they felt like they had to have somebody. And you remember how much um the coach for the both Broncos was talking about how great he was
Sean
when we
Payton.
was how great Bo Nix was in practice. Third string? That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
seem like he was that great.
No,
But I'm
he's.
tell you what, I'm not hearing good things about Drake May.
Mm, I don't know. I haven't heard anything about from New England yet. I don't pay much
Yeah,
attention.
I'm hearing some people are saying he's giving shades of Mac Jones and not rookie Mac Jones, more like last year Mac
Yeah,
Jones.
I think it's too early to tell on any of these guys. I think the easiest ones to tell on are JJ McCarthy and Bo Nix. They're gonna be trash. There's just no getting around it.
You can't
Absolute trash.
tell you can't tell that about anyone except them. I
Except for
guess.
those, it's the most obvious of them all. Um, Absolute trash. And of course, Caleb Williams is a Hall of Famer.
Oh, of course.
Uh,
You would hope.
yeah, you
You'd
would.
hope.
They
You'd
may
hope.
already induct him. I'm surprised they didn't do that this last weekend. Like the
Like they had Steve McMichael's bust and they go, oops, oh sorry, that's the Caleb
yeah,
bust. Let's
they
put that
pin it
one
with a
back.
hammer and it falls apart and it's Caleb. And they're like, sorry, Mongo. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a Hall of Famer.
He should be. He should be. I'm just saying, just from where he picked that.
Hmm.
You pick number one picks.
Yeah,
They should be
you got a
Hall of
better chance of being
Famers.
a Hall of Famer there, right?
Hmm.
So I think one of the biggest things that's going on in the NFL is Brandon Ayuk, and where is he going? Because they're going to trade him
Yes.
now. They're 100%. It feels like they're 100% going to trade him because like they're not even trying to deal with him anymore. They're just going to ship him off.
But it's up. They basically put the ball in his court.
Hmm.
They said these are your two teams.
Well, it's
If you don't
three,
like it,
possibly four now. Steelers are back in the mix.
Steelers are back in the mix.
Steelers
That's
are
the
back
team
in
he
the
wants
mix.
to go to.
I know.
So if the Steelers are back in the mix, then there's a good chance that he can get moved.
But,
I didn't see it.
well, go ahead.
I didn't see him getting moved to the Patriots or the Browns.
I don't. If I'm Brandon Ayuk, I don't want to go to either one of those teams. I definitely don't want to go to the Patriots.
Hmm.
And like, even though he doesn't have a no trade clause, he's no one's going to trade for him unless an extension can be worked out in place. And
Yes.
and
So he still holds the power.
he holds that.
Hmm.
And if he wants to go to the Steelers, but the Steelers trade package wasn't what the 49ers were
The
looking for.
49ers wouldn't take the pick.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be what it is. They're going to have to take it eventually.
Will they?
I mean it's either that or have nothing for Brandon Ayuk and he walks.
True.
I guess you could franchise him next year and then he wouldn't sign that.
Yeah, you can do it again. You do
Yeah,
the whole thing again.
yeah.
Franchise would be the move to make. Franchise and trade.
Mm. But yeah, but
Still hold
he's
his.
not a franchise. You can't franchise until next year. And I think if he sits out a whole year, I don't know if his
I
fifth
don't
year
think
gets
he can't
used
sit
up.
out. He
Yeah.
can't sit out.
Yeah, I don't know how that
He-
works. But hopefully they get a deal and send him off somewhere, and it's good for him and Justin Fields. That's what I'm hoping for. Who is there's rumblings that he's going to be the starter in Steel City.
I think I don't know. I think that Russell is still the guy that they trust and they want out there.
They may trust Russell Wilson more, but Justin Fields does more cool things on the
He
football
does
field.
cool things.
Hmm.
He does. He doesn't do not cool things. Like that's how you out cool Russell Wilson by just not doing lame things. Because
Yes.
he's gonna do the lame.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna
He'll do the lame on and off the field. I'm talking about like the explosive runs, the big throws. He's always got a cannon, and people are excited about that. And you know what? Steelers, I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I don't even think Ben Roethlisberger was like a cool player. Like he was just like it felt like he was big and he lumbered and he threw the ball really hard. I don't
he
know.
definitely did that and couldn't get tackled.
No.
That man would have three 250-pound linebackers on him. He's like, oh, dart down the
Yeah.
field.
Well, Justin Fields is like that too. He's just a different kind of
He's
like
just like, no. Justin Fields, if you touch him, he's gonna crumble. He's gonna fall.
Justin Fields. No.
Yeah.
Justin Fields is tackle shedding machine. He's what he is.
All I
though,
seen him running for his life.
What he is though is he's very susceptible to getting late hits and then no penalties. So I don't know if that's just because he's wearing the Bears uniform or if that's just a Justin Fields thing, but we'll see. We will see, won't we?
Anything else out there?
Oh, we have to talk about this because we went through the first 80 members of the top 100. Have
Yes.
you seen who the top 10 are yet?
I have
Do
not.
not look.
Oh,
Do not
not.
look because
Do not look.
we're gonna
Okay.
surprise.
Okay. Okay.
We gotta finish. We gotta finish 20 through one.
The way you said that, you were not impressed.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Don't look. Please do not look. Don't spoil it because it is outstanding. Number 20, C.J. Stroud, great. Number 19, Roquan Smith. If he was a Bear, he could be the same player, but he would not be recognized. Number 18, Justin Jefferson. Number 17, Mike Parsons, first Cowboy. Number 16, Dak Prescott, second Cowboy. Number 15, Jalen Hurts. Number 14, George Kittle. Number 13, CeeDee Lamb, third Cowboy, who the Cowboys have placed wide receiver CeeDee Lamb on the reserve did not report list,
mm.
and that is a problem. Number 12, Josh Allen. Number 11, Fred Warner, linebacker
Okay.
for the
I
49ers.
don't see a problem with that.
All right, let's do this top 10 then, shall we?
Okay.
So, what are names we haven't heard yet? We haven't heard Mahomes. We haven't
Of
heard
course.
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
We haven't heard
Did we hear Tyreek Hill?
Nope or CMC or Lamar.
Yes, CMC.
Here we go. Number
Brock
10,
Purdy?
No, Brock Purdy was like 30 something.
Okay.
Number 10, Max Crosby. One of my favorite guys. I would love to see
Yeah, I don't
numbers. I
know
don't
if
know if
he
he's the 10th
top
best player in
10.
the NFL, but he's great. Travis Kelsey, number 9.
Okay.
TJ Watt, number 8.
TJ Watt, how many games did he play last year?
I don't know, but he had 19 sacks. Led the
Shit.
league.
Okay. Up, respect it.
Trent Williams, 7.
He's always on that list.
Yep. Number 6, Chris
I think they're just
Jones.
scared of him. I think they're just scared of him.
Probably if they leave him off, he'll hunt on every other player in the NFL. Number 6, Chris Jones.
Okay.
Right. Number 5, Miles Garrett.
Okay. He was here. He had a ridiculous year
He was
last
great
year.
last
He
year.
he was that defense for a
Yes.
while.
Yes, he was. Number 4. You ready? Patrick
Yes.
Mahomes.
Number 4?
Number 4. Patrick Mahomes is apparently the 4th best player according to the rest of NFL players. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes.
Those are all the AFC went heavy and they could not put his name on there. The players in the AFC would not put him at the number one. They just hate him apparently.
Number 3, Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Number 2, Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
So
I
when
don't
Mahomes
hate
was
that.
1, Mahomes was 4.
You
I'm like,
immediately said that
it's gotta be
Lamar
Lamar.
Jackson
He
was
was
number.
MVP last year.
There's no one better than I got it. Who's
Tyreek
wait?
Hill, number 1.
No.
I know. Tyreek Hill, great football player. Is he the best player in all of football?
No.
No.
Uh,
But
Let me see. I'm gonna Google NFL MVP rankings last year. I did. What's his name? Did he get a first place vote
I don't know.
for MVP?
I don't know. But he is number 1 on the NFL 100 player rankings. Not Patrick Mahomes, the 3-time Super Bowl champion and Super Bowl MVP, and 2-time MVP, gone to Super Bowl 4 out of the last 5 seasons. Not
NFL
him.
MVP. NFL MVP last year. Lamar Jackson had score of 493.
I think he was almost unanimous.
Close. He only had one person not give
Yeah.
him a first place vote. Tyreek Hill is on the list, but first is Lamar Jackson, second is Dak Prescott, third is Christian McCaffrey, fourth is Brock Purdy, fifth is Josh Allen.
Yep.
Tyreek Hill is sixth, and Patrick Mahomes did come underneath him.
Tyreek Hill got 0 first place votes.
Yeah, 0 first place votes.
Yeah. I don't know what he got as far as the rest goes, second and third.
Well, yeah, because the only other person that got a first place vote was Josh Allen.
Yes. Remember that? That was the fantasy football writer who said, "Well, Josh Allen was more productive on a fantasy, whatever, blah blah blah." Right?
Yeah, this Tariq Hill. many games did he play? Didn't he have an injury problem somewhere in the game this year?
He played 16 games last year,
Okay, that's
1,799 yards. I mean, ton of yards,
that's pretty
13
damn good.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
Great season.
He
Chris,
also had like 9 kids last year, I think. I think he
yes,
was
and beat them all too. Christian McCaffrey had 2,000 yards combined rushing and receiving last year with 21 touchdowns. Uh, Fine if he's in the top three, that makes sense. Lamar Jackson, 3,600 yards passing, 821 yards rushing, 29 combined touchdowns. They also had the number one seed in the AFC. I mean, Dak Prescott did what Dak Prescott does. I mean, Tyreek Hill didn't do any better in the playoffs than Dak Prescott.
Hmm. I was trying to see. I saw that they restructured his deal.
They did.
They basically just guaranteed more
I
money.
think they guaranteed all the money or something like that for the rest of the way through.
The restructured contract was worth $90 million over the next 3 years, with 65 million of it guaranteed.
Hmm.
No New Year's was added, so
Nope. So there you go. Uh, Tyreek Hill, the number one player in the NFL. I saw it and I resisted sharing it, so I get the live reaction to it today.
I like wide receivers, and I don't see how a wide receiver can be the best player in the.
I don't see how Tyreek Hill was the best player in the league last year.
You don't think he was the best wide receiver in the league last year?
I think just due to the fact that CeeDee Lamb was really good too last year. I just think
CeeDee Lamb was really good.
due to the fact that Justin Jefferson was hurt and Kirko didn't play all that time. So otherwise, just I think Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver on the planet.
Yeah, I mean, just well, he used to be. Malik Neighbors, I think, being just voted the
Oh, for sure,
best wide
yeah,
receiver on the planet.
he's a close yeah. Justin Jefferson's a close second. But like even like a guy like Aaron Rodgers who did he only played 5 snaps last year was still ranked in like high too. I want to say like in the
Yeah,
70s or something like that.
Andrew Thomas didn't even come up in on the list. The only the only Giant who played on the Giants last year
Hmm.
is Dexter Lawrence.
The only Bear that played on the Bears last year, was only half the season was Montez Sweat. Even though Jalen Johnson was statistically the best
The
cornerback in
top.
football last year, was a all second team All Pro, was a Pro Bowler,
Yeah, I just don't.
held dudes
I
to
don't know.
33%, 33 passer rating. When if you throw it into the dirt every time, it's like a 46 passer rating, right? So throwing to Jalen Johnson results in a worse passer rating than just throwing it straight down into the ground every time.
Oh, excuse me. Man,
Hang
what
in there.
else?
But yeah, so there was that. I thought that was kind of ridiculous and wanted to share it, but you know,
I am under the. I believe that this is going to be a terrible preseason.
oh yeah,
Nobody's playing any of their guys.
mm. Caleb's supposed to play
Like,
this weekend, so we'll see.
is he?
Yep,
Okay. Daniel Jones wants to play, and the Giants are like, shut up.
yeah. Bryce Young's not playing, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, that is a little interesting. I think he needs to play.
Mm-hmm. I think he does too. Still holding out
Uh,
hope that he'll be good.
Apparently Rogers wants to play.
But
Robert Saleh said, "Shut up.
Robert Saleh said he's still recovering from his Achilles tear, so we're not going to play him. This is the guy that was like,
I could have
yeah,
came back."
I rubbed a mushroom on my heel and I got better. I talked to a
I've been
shaman. All right, Aaron
taking
Rodgers.
this goat root,
Mm-hmm.
and
Horny goat weed.
it's got me. It's got me ready. If
Mm-hmm.
we was in the playoffs, I'd play. And the thing is, not just that he had the entire like media saying, "What if they make the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
He might play."
He was never going to play. There was no
We
chance.
watched we watched the Achilles go peek and just snap.
Mm-hmm. All right. So this is the last football thing I wanted to bring up. I don't
Mhm.
know who made this list, but somebody made a list that says the top 10 running backs of all time. All time. Since,
Whoa, okay.
since the beginning of football 100 years ago to now.
Okay. All right. Let me start naming some people off that list.
Okay, go.
Jim Brown.
Number 3.
Okay. Walter Payton.
Number 2.
LaDainian Thomason.
Shockingly, number 7. I
Okay,
would put him at
okay.
number 4, but that's me personally.
Oh, oh, his name's not going to be on there. It should be, but his name's not going to be on there.
Who?
OJ Simpson.
Number 10.
Okay. OJ Simpson. All right, so
Yeah, this is the
Emmett
top
Smith.
10 people of all time.
I
Top
know. I
10
just
running
want.
backs of all time.
I assume that they would have just because it's subjective. I guess somebody made this list. It may not be based on any stats,
Yep.
so I assume that they might have kept them off. Emmett Smith,
Number 5.
Earl Campbell.
No.
Okay. Adrian Peterson.
Number 6.
Okay. How many have I gotten so far? I'm supposed
You've
to write
gotten
them
2,
down.
3, 5, 6,
I don't have number
7,
one.
10. You didn't say number 1 yet. No.
Barry
Number
Sanders.
1.
I was like, what? Okay.
So you're missing. I'll give you this hint. You got. You only got 3 left. 2 Rams and 1 Bear.
Marshall Falk.
Yep.
I'm missing a bear.
Marshall
I,
Falk, number 8.
I said sweetness.
You
I
said
said
Walter
Walter
Payton at
Payton.
2. Yep.
There's another bear. Dick Butkus,
Oh, he was a linebacker.
linebacker. What is his name?
Same era. I think same
Yeah,
draft
yeah.
class.
I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Really short career. Only played like 6 years because of injury.
No. What is his name? Okay.
Gale Sayers,
Gale Sayers. Yeah.
number 9.
Uh,
Number 4 was that same mid '80s era as Walter Payton, and I always remember there was always like 3 running backs I really liked, 3 or 4 running backs I really liked at this time. It's not Marcus Allen, and it's
mm-hmm.
and it's not
Bo Jackson's not on there. He didn't have a
no,
career
not Bo
long enough
Jackson.
to be Bo.
What was that? What was the Giants
Not the
running back?
Nigerian Nightmare. Joe Morris.
Not Joe Morris. You already said Walter
the,
Payton.
the one from the formerly known Washington Redskins.
Nope,
Okay.
he's on the Rams. I think he played on the Rams, and then he went to the Colts afterwards.
Oh God, I
Maybe the
know.
Raiders too.
I have him in my. Oh, Marcus Allen.
Not Marcus Allen. Marcus
Not
Allen went
Marcus
Raiders,
Allen.
and then went Chiefs after that.
Went Chiefs. You said Gale Sayers.
You said Marshall
Um,
Faulk already. And
I said
it's not
Marshall
Edgerrin
Faulk.
James.
I have him in my head, like tall, lengthy stride.
Wears goggles.
Yes, where's
Jerry
Goggles? I have
Curl.
him in my head. Why can't I think of his name? Yeah,
He used to run people over. I think he
he's
ran for
great.
what?
Yeah,
I think he ran
he's
for
great.
2,000 yards one
I,
year too.
I can't think of his name.
All right. I know it's not going to jog any of your memory, but I'm going to pull up his stats real fast. He played for the Rams, and then he went to Indianapolis, and then to the Raiders in Atlanta. He did rush his rookie year. He rushed for 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. His second year, he rushed for 2,100 yards and 14 touchdowns.
I have his face in my head. Like you said, Jericho, goggles, long legs. Like oh.
In his 4th year, he rushed for 1,800 yards again. He led the league in rushing 4
He had
times.
didn't he have a short career though?
He played from 83 to 93.
That's 10 years. That's not short.
No. Eric Dickerson.
Oh no.
Oh, I bet you if I would have given you his nickname, Mr. Benny, you would have got it.
definitely would definitely wouldn't have got that. So I missed 2.
You missed 2.
I missed the Bears. I still can't
Gale
figure
Sayers.
Gale Sayers,
Yeah.
and I missed Eric Dickerson.
Yeah. Now, obviously, these top 10
That's a
running back
solid
lists
list.
it is a purely subjective thing because it's not based upon yardage or whatever. Like, if anybody said, "Oh, Walter Payton is the best running back of all time," I'd be like, "Yep." If anybody said Jim Brown's the best running back of all time, I'd go, "Okay, that's fine."
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody's ever said Eric Dickerson's the best running back of all time, but he was really good.
Yeah.
If people say Emmett Smith, I'm like, yeah, all right.
Statistically, I
Yeah.
guess.
LaDainian Tomlinson is like my second favorite running back of all time behind Walter Payton.
I really liked Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, he was a great runner. Once again,
man.
this is in the top 10 people of all time.
People. Man, that guy could run.
Yes, he could.
Truck you old. Oh, he did it. Oh, he was great.
He was great. He was a 2,000-yard rusher too.
Yeah, what I find crazy, not crazy, but that list there is no one who played in the last 20 years except for AP and LaDainian
Yep,
Tomlinson.
that's it.
Of all the good running backs they've had, some great,
Hmm.
um, but their careers just I don't think were long enough to warrant being on that list.
No,
Chris Johnson ran for 2,000 yards. Just career wasn't long enough.
no. Uh,
Um,
Maybe you could argue Frank
Frank Gore,
Gore,
Frank
maybe.
Gore's career is long enough, has the yards, but just not spectacular
No.
enough.
Yeah, like
Terrell Davis' career is too short.
way too short. He was a 2,000
He's
yard
it's
rusher.
too short to be a Hall of Famer, but he's in there.
I agree. Um, like trying to think of other great running
Sean
backs.
Alexander had some really good years.
Yeah, Sean Alexander, uh, but not all time great.
Not those guys. CMC is probably going to be. He could be on there if at the
Maybe
trajectory he's going. He's had some really good
he might be able
years.
to crack the top 10. The bust, Jerome Bettis,
Yeah, yes, oh good, but
Curtis
trying
Martin.
to, Chris Martin was legit good. He
Yeah, he
was
was.
good.
Yeah, he was. Edgerrin James, he was
Edge was
legit
good.
good. Marcus Allen, he was legit good. Here's a guy that I always thinks gets crapped on because he played for the Bills and he had fumbles in the Super Bowl, but Thurman Thomas.
Thurman Thomas. Listen, Tiki Barber wasn't a great. He was a good running back. He was a better dual threat running back, out running, catching,
Hmm.
things like that.
Oh, you were thinking
Like
about John Riggins earlier, weren't you?
yes, Riggins is what I was thinking about. Yep. Um,
I mean, there's
because
been.
they just ran so much more in those that time, and the running back was the team,
Hmm.
right? So chances are, if I knew a quarterback, he was a Hall of Famer. Like that's just this. I was young at the time, and there weren't a lot of quarterbacks that I knew. I knew a lot of running backs.
Hmm.
You knew a lot of running backs.
Oh man, I'm scrolling on this list of leading all-time leading rushers, and you got Sean Alexander. You said that earlier. And Derrick Henry is the highest active player
Active,
at
yeah.
number 36 with 9,500 yards. He'd have to double his output to top Emmitt Smith. Um, but here's a name. I guess Ezekiel Elliott's on there too, that I hadn't thought of in a long time, and I saw it and I was like, oh crap! Now I lost it. Where did he go? D'Angelo Williams at number 51. Remember for the
For the
Panthers?
Carolina Panthers,
Yeah,
they had two solid running backs
they
yeah,
did.
they
Yeah,
had both running backs run for over 1,000
yeah,
yards that season.
yeah.
Who was the other one?
Uh, oh boy, I'm gonna have to look it up. 2008. It's probably 2008, 2009. Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart. Yes. Yeah.
I
No,
knew it
they.
was a Green Lantern name. I just couldn't remember which one. Guy Gardner.
They had. Yeah. That's why I hate that the running back position is getting treated like it. Remember Bell? He was really good.
Le'Veon Bell. Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell was
yeah, he
really
was.
good.
Yeah.
Arian Foster was kind of good too. He
Arian
had ran
Foster
into
was great. I
problems.
loved
He
Arian
had
Foster.
he had
Health problems,
besides being he had health
injuries.
problems.
Yeah. A
Man,
lot of
there was
great
some
running
good one.
backs that just. The thing about running backs is like the great ones, like they might have that flash of like 3 4 years, and then it's tough. It's tough to have a sustained long career as a running back.
Man, I'm getting bad with names as I get older. Guy played for the Rams, running back
Todd Gurley,
Todd Gurley. Oh,
he was an injury
oh,
problem too, but he was awesome.
injury. Mm-hmm.
Todd Gurley, Steven Jackson, the other Rams running back. Rams have like a
He,
bunch of great running backs.
he's up there too,
Yeah,
like yards, I believe.
yeah, he
Because
is.
he was. It was like, oh, okay, Marshall Falk left. Who do they have there? Oh, they have Steven Jackson.
Yep, and he was awesome. I always remember the Rams as having great running backs. I always remember the Eagles as having great running backs, or like running backs I remembered. Uh,
I don't remember any of their running backs.
None.
Deuce Staley.
Ricky Waters is the one that always pops in
Deuce.
my head.
Deuce. There's Shady McCoy.
Yeah, Herschel
Um,
Walker for a
yeah.
stint. Um,
Ricky Waters. Yep. Yeah,
Bears
that's
always
it.
Bears always had great running backs. Um,
I was you know me, Giants running backs
Mm-hmm.
with Morris. Then I was like, what is his name? Hamilton.
I don't remember him.
Uh, yeah. Then we tried the Thunder and Lightning with Ron Dane and
Yep.
Ron Dane was oh man,
Heisman
Tiki
Trophy
Barber
winner.
saved Ron Dane. Yep, Tiki Barber saved Ron Dane. Didn't save Ron Dane, but having him, Tiki Barber made Ron Dane being a bust uh a little bit more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
Tiki. Then we had Brandon Jacobs, one of my favorite Giants.
Yep.
Then we had him and Ward, not Ward.
Oh, what? Okay, what was the other guy's name? Uh, because he was in the news recently.
Was he?
Yes.
That's not good. That's not a good sign.
It was like an interview, and he said something. We gotta find his name real fast. Uh, Giants.
Brandon Jacobs, and I thought it was Ward, but I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, it was Brandon Jacobs. All right.
Brandon Jacobs is the Brandon Jacobs the big one, but there
In
was
an
two of them
interview,
there.
did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
So former Giants Brandon Jacobs
His
revealed
son's a football player, I think now.
in high school uh, he did a line of cocaine before a game, and he rushed for like 338 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Whoa! That first of all, that man, he was huge.
Mm-hmm.
He said in high school,
Yes.
he was probably the size we saw him at the Giants
Yeah.
in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet that train running through, I watched him hurt NFL players. If he was that size in high school, there was no way I was standing in front of him to take a charge,
All right.
to tackle him.
So in 2005 at the combine, here are his numbers. Uh, Came in at 6'4" and a half, weighing
Mm-hmm.
264 pounds, ran a 4.56 40 and a 37-inch vertical leap.
He was he would just type in Brandon Jacobs highlights and you will see grown men like
Mm-hmm. Brandon Jacobs was a big bruising running back,
hmm.
the kind that you
Oh
like to
man,
see destroy
I
people.
typed in Brandon Jacobs and the first thing that came was Brandon Jacobs High School.
Yep.
So that's
And that was this week. Yep. He said that. All
mm,
right. So the Olympics are going on. Simone
yes.
Biles got Simone Biles fell off of the balance beam and still got a silver.
Hmm.
Uh,
Stepped out of bounds twice on the floor, still got a silver.
did you see her vault that got her the gold?
Hmm.
Okay, which is insane bonkers. Like I don't even know how any human being can do what she did. So Simone Biles, and then her husband is on the Bears, and he got to go over
Yes.
there, and that was cool. What else happened? Oh, fastest man on live is the fastest man alive
Noah Lyles.
by zero point zero zero
By
0.005 seconds,
yes.
5 milliseconds, right?
Yes.
Like,
They said like like faster the time of like two hummingbird flaps. Like
mm-hmm.
that's how fast how short the time was.
uh,
The
yeah, I was gonna say, 60 frames a second video game is 16 milliseconds per frame. So he was 5 milliseconds to winning. Now, there's people that are trying to say, can you call yourself the fastest man alive if you only won by 0.005 seconds? Yes.
yes.
Did you win? Yes. You're the fastest man
Was I
alive.
the fastest? Yes. What?
I don't care if he won by 0.0000001 seconds. Did he
There's
win?
always some
Yes.
haters. Oh my god, that's ridiculous to say something like
Yes.
that.
Exactly. I agree.
I've been watching stupid sports. I just watched what I'm going to say is the most decorated Olympian I've ever seen. Mijan, is that his name?
Is it table tennis?
No. Mijan Lopez.
Okay.
He is a Cuban professional wrestler. He's in the 100 kilogram. So the guy's 42 years old. He's my age.
Still in the Olympics?
Exactly.
Wow.
He's won gold at every Olympics for the last 5 years.
Or last 5 Olympics, right?
Five
So
Olympics.
20 years of Olympiads, he's
Yes.
won the gold.
The best
Wow.
wrestler at that size. Dominant.
Yeah,
Absolute
that is
dominant.
dominant. Yeah.
I was like, what is he still doing? Last time he won, he was like, you know what, guys, I'm done. I retired.
Hmm.
And then the world championship came. He was like, let me give it a try again. They couldn't score a point on him. he's just he's that good.
Yes,
Like the matches aren't even close.
that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm watching that. I've been watching pole vaulting. I've been watching pole
Can't go wrong
vaulting.
with pole vaulting.
And that brings me to the question I talked about you earlier.
Hmm.
Uh,
And so I brought up the Olympics.
would you rather get a gold medal in the Olympics or
Hmm.
be known by the world for having a massive junk? Like
Yeah. So
the entire world, the gold, you get the gold.
the
And
entire
wait, and
world,
what cost you the gold?
the entire world sees your wing knock the pole, knock the bar that you have to clear on a pole vault down. You didn't hit
Now,
with your knee, you didn't hit with your foot or your hand.
had he been an average man, he might. We're not even talking. We're not talking about. We're just talking about just not having a forearm in your hands.
Here's the thing. You would think that that would have come up at least one time in practice, right?
Like, yes,
And so you would have to wear like some sort of compression shorts.
he is. He is wearing a compression. Have you seen the video?
Yes.
You think I know? Make you watch it again.
Okay, so then you got to tape it or something.
You got to do something. But then how you run at full speed? Like
I
it's
don't
it.
know.
He's probably. But listen, it's not like he woke up the night before the Olympics. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So he's.
Now that's a movie though. That's a movie if that happens, right? So not a good movie, but
Not
it's a
like,
movie about a pole vaulter who the night
what,
before the Olympics wishes upon a star or something like that.
exactly. Yes, it's called bigger.
Yes. And he wakes up and he's just like, "What?" He's knocking stuff off his desk.
Oh
That's the
man.
only way that it had to have come up. So it to me it's something that should have had to come up enough to have scientists develop some sort of contraption that pulls it back or something, right? Like it wraps around your waist, goes down your butt crack, and like
He's
pulls.
got he's got the some of NASA's best minds working on it.
Yeah.
So I got this problem. And they're like, okay, what's the problem? I got my junk, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty big. He's like, well, it can't be
No, this
that
is a
big.
movie too.
He's like, sir, it's causing me problems. It's good. Like I knock the bar down every time.
Only in
I
pole
need
vaulting.
help.
Only in pole
He's like,
vaulting is
what?
this a problem.
Why don't you just tape it? Oh no, it throws off my aerodynamics. I need something like
Hmm.
like a special uniform that like holds it and moves it, or I could tape it up to I could whip it around my shoulder if I need to.
Oh yes. Hmm.
But I've asked the IOC and it's inappropriate. It's deemed explicit.
Yes.
To
That would probably hurt his
have
aerodynamics
a,
too.
a taped penis on your shoulder.
Yes. So yeah, I mean he's got to have some sort of contraption that like pulls it down while he's up in the air or something, right? Keeps it from
Yes.
going out.
Or just use it as a pole.
Sure.
And just,
Now, yep. I mean that's a possibility too.
like, gold is fleeting, but the world knows. Like
Hmm.
there's no bigger advertisement. He is now in the Olympic Village
Oh, I
with
know.
with the best
The largest collection
bodies
of horniest
of
athletically fit,
in their
insanely durable
peak.
people.
Oh my God. Oh, just
That's
yeah,
true.
no. And he just got a $250,000 apparently deal from someone. I didn't even look at who the deal was from. I don't even want to
It's probably
know. But
Durex. So that's part. I didn't even think about the village. Like my comment earlier was, you win a gold, you get exposed as having an enormous weight. Neither can be taken away from you. They're yours for forever, right?
yes.
But I didn't think about the village part. You get back, and you're like, oh, You like kick off your shoes, you kick off your cleats because I'm sure he wears them all the way back to the village. Kicks
You
them
know what
off,
I'm saying?
sits down, and there's a knock on the door, right? And he goes and opens it. And this is a movie too. There is just a line of people.
Because, and but he's lived with that thing his whole life,
Hmm.
right? But he's got to go back and see his Twitter has exploded.
Yes.
Exploded. DMs through the roof, all from people two doors down. Like it's not like
Yep.
the DMs are coming from people across the world. It's coming from people two doors down.
Now,
The
what if
Romanian
he
swimmers.
what if he
Or
lived with it his whole life, and it's always been some like level of hindrance in his athletics, so he's always been ashamed of it, and then it
Mhm,
costs him the gold, which is like his number one goal, and now
mhm.
he's even feeling more shame,
He's got to
and
get.
he goes the eunuch route,
I was gonna say he's got to go get a reduction.
yeah, or just
Like
removal.
with women with large breasts and they have their backs hurt. First of all,
Hmm.
his back has to hurt.
Yes.
That's number one. So maybe he just gets a penile reduction.
So let's say he gets that, and then next time he pole vaults like 1,000 feet in the air because he's been anchored down this whole time. He's like, pew, just shoots up to the moon.
Whoa!
Where'd it go? People are waiting. They're like, they have to time his pole vault to see how long it takes him to come
Exactly.
down.
Airtime has never been a statistic, but now it is.
Oh, so what if he goes so high that the rotation of the Earth? Well, no, because he would still be moving with the rotation of the Earth. Like he would come back down and still knock the pole down, even though he should have cleared it. He shot so high in the air. I don't know.
Oh no! Oh no!
He's
There
like,
was another. There was another question that I thought about the Olympics. Like I watch this and I get a lot of questions in my head.
mm-hmm,
What in the world? Anything. It could be very mundane.
mm-hmm.
Do you think you are the best in the world at?
Me?
Any task? Yes, you personally. What do you think? If you could make up a sport or make up an event, it doesn't even have to be a sport. Anything that you think is there anything in your life do you think you're the best in the world at?
Yes. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna
Okay,
tell you something,
okay.
and it might not be remarkable, but I feel like I am the best at in the world getting the lyrics to Mad Ism stuck in my head at the weirdest times. Like some things will just I'll wake up in the morning, got the urine of herb, and it just hits in my head for some reason. There was Channel Live, right? They don't even think about that song anymore. I do.
That's it.
That's it right there. I win the gold medal.
That's it.
Yep.
That's a great one. Like it's just a competition where you just walk in and then it go Madlib boys.
Yeah. Yep.
I was like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I doing nothing, I'm probably not the best doing nothing.
No, I
There's
guarantee.
probably people way better at it
Yes.
than
The
me.
golden sloth. Yes. I'm pretty lazy, but I guarantee people are lazier than me.
That's what I was like, man, like what are you could you gold medal in? Now, of course, if I had to pick a sport and to try to play in the Olympics,
Oh,
I
heavens no.
told you it's handball. It's handball. I
Oh,
could
yeah,
play
you told me about
handball.
that. Yeah.
I could be a professional handball.
I've never done it, but I think with enough practice, I could probably do curling.
Curling?
Yes, I could be the broom guy. I have to get my ice legs first. That might take a little bit, but I think with enough practice, I could do curling. I could even be like the little stone slider guy.
Slim slider?
Mm.
That's a lot. Have you seen the position that they're in? I don't even think I could get my body into that sleek line
Oh
position
yeah, they
that
go
they're
down like
in.
one knee and yeah, I'm the broom guy.
Sweepers get gold too.
Yep.
Sweepers get gold. Oh man, I could talk the Olympics all day. Did you see the shooter from Turkey?
Yes, I had
That
to see
guy's
the
a
shooter from
killer.
Turkey.
That guy's a killer.
He's got to be like a contract killer.
It's scary.
So so if for anyone that hasn't seen this guy, so like the shooting in the Olympics, like there's people like decked out in like dead shot sort of like magnetic magnifying lens scope things on their faces and all sorts of weird
Contraptions,
contraptions. This guy just walks up with a pistol, holds it up, and shoots, and gets
iron
silver.
sight pistol.
Hmm.
He doesn't even close one eye.
Nope.
He both eyes open.
Yep.
He walks up. He doesn't even look like he has a shooting stance.
Nope.
He's just like one arm in front and takes silver.
Yes.
That's a scary man.
Yes.
It because it looks like he doesn't do that for sport.
Nope. So here's the thing, like, so he's become a bit of a sensation on social media. He's got a daughter, and he also has a cat that he spends a lot of time in pictures with. And I've seen somebody say, "God help whoever if somebody kills that cat,
Oh,
he's
John
turned
Wick.
John Wick, right? He is the John Wick. Now imagine if John Wick was also John Wick, but then he's like, I'm gonna go to the Olympics. That's what he would do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the guy was the pictures was scary.
Hmm.
Like honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, his that picture that he's standing there with the head cocked a little bit, eyes open. I was like, that's a rap album cover.
Hmm.
That's a rap album cover.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, the Olympics been fun.
So now I got because this is the Olympics too, because basketball's going on. The Miami Heat shared out this tweet. I'll share it with you. It's Bam Abadai show. I can never say his name.
Adebayo,
Yeah,
Adebayo, yeah.
right. So he's on the team. They tweet this out. Our guy finishes 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals in the win. He
Okay.
responds with, "I didn't have to post my quadruple single. Thanks." He's a contributor to an Olympic team. They won.
Yes,
3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, two
yeah.
steals.
Well, hopefully that wasn't the game that they played today.
No, that was on August 3rd. That was a few days ago.
Okay,
Did they
because
lose today?
they beat Brazil by like 40
Oh.
points. It was like 122 to 86. So there's points to go around for everyone today.
Hmm.
So I'm hoping that it wasn't there.
You didn't have to post my quadruple single. Maybe chuckle.
Sometimes you can.
Messed around and had a quadruple single.
Oh man, I will tell you that the White Sox are still in it. Top of the fourth, 0-0.
Okay. Well, there's time. There's plenty of time for them to blow it, and they will.
There is. They got time.
So you brought up baseball, and some guy, Marty Mush, I have no idea who this person is, Barstool Sports, says Aaron Judge is the best hitter we will ever see in our lifetime, which has sparked various people responding. In 2,440 career games, Tony Gwynn had 34 multi-strikeout games. Aaron Judge has 32 multi-strikeout games and 110 games this season. And then another person's like, I saw Barry Bonds play in my lifetime. Ken
Why
Griffey
do
Jr.
people
There's so many better. Like Aaron Judge is great, fine. He's a really great player, but he's not the best hitter we'll ever see in our lifetime.
no? Is he a Triple Crown winner?
No, we saw a Triple Crown winner
We have seen a Triple Crown winner.
and a Cripple Crown too. Uh,
Is
yeah,
Has he led the league in batting average? I remember he wasn't he trying at one point last year home runs, RBIs, and batting
I
average?
have
Wasn't
no
he
idea. Aaron Judge. I don't even know what his stats are. I do not follow baseball like I should anymore.
I listen. When your team is not good, I completely understand.
But he is having a great season. 41 homers, 322 at bat, 103 slashing. Oh man, 456, 701, 1157. 1157 OPS is nice. Wow,
Mm-hmm.
that's a big number. And he's great. Yeah, agreed. But we have seen other.
We have seen many
Yes.
better hitters. Like, are we talking hitting to for power, hitting for like what are we talking about?
I don't.
Ichiro was a great hitter.
Yeah. Now
Like,
Aaron Judge, in his defense, has been playing since 2016. He's
mhm.
had 3 years where he's led the league in home runs. He's leading the league in home runs right now. So
Yes,
he had
yes.
52 and 62.
61 home runs last year, right?
62 2 years ago, right? And he was hurt
60,
last year. He only played 106 games. Um,
62, yeah.
he has never led the league in batting average, but he has led the league in OPS once. He's got a career OPS over one. He's 1.003 career OPS, which is bonkers. But I mean, we talked about Frank Thomas, I think, is one of the greatest hitters ever, and he played in our lifetime. Tony Gwynn, for sure. Pete Rose was during our lifetime.
Yes. Yes. It's
So
I don't why do people do this?
I don't know. It's recency bias, and he's probably a Yankees fan. So it's like,
That I talked to a friend again, same friend I think I've talked about it, but who doesn't believe in the Will Chamberlain numbers.
mm-hmm, yes,
Doesn't believe the 100-point game.
yes,
I, I started looking up the stats to that game. It was crazy.
sure.
Like they because I was like, that game wasn't that long ago. There's probably people alive who got was victimized in that game. Like it wasn't that long ago. Um one of the things that the Wikipedia says when you talk about the 100-point game is one of the guys who was on the Knicks team. They kept trying to foul him, and he was getting to the line. And one person yelled to the ref, give him 100 points and we'll go home." Right? That's it. Because at some point in the game, when it was realized that he was going to score it over the allowed announcer, they were saying how many points he had.
Yeah.
Like 96,
Mm-hmm.
98. Like, so they knew what they were doing. And at one point, the Knicks did not want, because it happened against the Knicks, did not want him to get it. They
Nope.
were filing everyone on the court that
Hmm.
wasn't him, just so that he wouldn't get the 100-point game. But his stat line was ridiculous. He shot 60 shots that night,
Yeah. I just looked it up. He was like 36 for 60 from the floor.
28 of 32 from the free throw line or
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
No three-pointers.
Nope. Line didn't exist, right?
Didn't exist.
And
Right.
what was it with 2:12 left? Chamberlain had 94 points, so he needed 6 points with 2:12 left.
Yep.
It's
But
crazy.
that's not much. You just give him the ball.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna just dominate. He said most of the Knicks team was in foul trouble by the first half.
Mm-hmm.
He got to the line 32 times. That doesn't mean that he did they have and ones back then? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Probably.
did.
I'm gonna guess they did. But he finished with an even number. I guess it's still not difficult to do that. But
Eyewitness accounts of the historic basket, the 100th point, differ as to whether Chamberlain merely laid the ball in or actually dunked the ball on an alley oop. Could you imagine if your 100th point is an alley oop dunk?
mhm. Yeah, that's like what I would do if I was playing against my kids.
Oh yeah,
I'm
for
just gonna
sure.
go over
Oh,
them.
I'd rip the rim down. Yeah.
I, I'm talking to that kid. Like, he's not a kid. I'm talking to that young guy in my job, and I'm like, you were old enough to watch Kobe Bryant have 81 points,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Kobe Bryant did not have as much of a physical advantage over the players he was playing versus what Wilt Chamberlain did. Why don't you believe he had 100 points?
This account is awesome. Was less than a minute
Yes.
left in the game. Chamberlain set up in the post. Ruck like a pass to Rogers, who passed to Chamberlain close to the basket, but he missed the shot. Ted Lukenbill rebounded and passed it back to Chamberlain, who missed again. Lukenbill again rebounded. So the Knicks just were not hitting the boards. And this,
They were done.
yeah,
Did you see this? Did you see the score to that game?
no, I don't know what it is.
168 to 140 something.
Yeah, yeah, they lost by 20.
They were done. This why are we still playing?
The Knicks still put up 41 in the fourth.
He put up probably 40 in the fourth
They
too.
were the Philadelphia had 44 in the fourth, right? So he had 100 of the 169 points. So
Yeah.
what's insane about that is this is 1962, and 69 other points were scored
Yes.
other than his 100, which is
But that's
nuts.
because well, someone was like, "Well, the game doesn't go that." I'm like, "Well, he was filed. He was filed. We don't know how many times he was filed. We know he went to the line 32 times.
Yes.
That's 32 times. The clock stopped. Things like that. That game lasted forever, probably.
Oh, I bet you did.
And he probably was. And people don't realize he was a high jumper.
Hmm.
Like he was a an athlete. He was probably down court faster than everyone else. They just gave him the ball. He was taller than everyone. He just dunked it. I
Yep.
could do that against. I told him, you give me. You say, Harland, I want you to play a 48-minute game against third graders. I'll have 100 points.
Oh
Against
yeah, you
third
better.
graders, I'm gonna have 100
You better
points
have 100 points.
all day long. Because all they can do is try to foul me. I'm gonna get to the line, and when they don't foul me, I'm just gonna lay the ball up.
Hmm.
Easily 100 points on third graders. I dominate third graders.
All right. Chamberlain 36 to 63, 28 32 from the line, 25 rebounds, 100 points. Now here's the thing: the Knicks, they had three guys score over 30 in their game. Three. Willie
Uh-huh. That
Knowles,
is
don't know him. Richie
hmm?
Guerin, don't know him.
Richie Gere is a Hall of Famer, and he's in the Knicks Hall of Fame.
Cleveland Buckner put up
Don't know.
33. Uh, on Philadelphia, you had Paul Arizin with 16, Tom McSherry with 16, Guy Rogers with 11, Al Addles with 17, York Larissy with 9, and that's it.
I never heard of any of those
No.
players.
And you shouldn't.
Like
Joe Rucklick is the guy that got the assist on the 100th point.
I said, some of these people are probably still alive.
Yeah. It was only
So
1962.
that's what I mean. Like this to say that it didn't exist. This guy's like, no, I was there. He he dropped 100 on our faces.
Yeah. So in 62, so let's say somebody was, I mean, yeah, they might be old
20.
now, right? They might be
Yeah.
in their 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but they saw it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
photographs of the game,
Yep.
and there were sadly, there were only 4,000 people in the stands.
Yeah, game didn't get a lot of love. And I read something that the year before that, he shot 50 something percent from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the year he made the change over to granny free throws.
Hmm.
And he shot granny free throws for most of that year. And that's why his free throw percentage in that game was 28 for 32.
Hmm.
Yep.
Wasn't the buried like Rick Barry? Wasn't he a granny free throw shooter too?
Yep.
Yeah.
hmm That's yeah. That's what at least the article said. But if then eventually he stopped shooting free throws like that because somebody said he was a woman and he
Hmm.
didn't like that.
Yeah. Woman that makes free throws. I mean, what
That
difference does
woman
it
exactly.
make? The man who slept with 10,000 women gets upset that somebody called him woman for shooting granny free throws.
I'm gonna tell you about that. Like that's the only number I disbelieve.
The 10,000
I
women?
know he scored. I know he scored 100 points.
Hmm.
He did not sleep with 10,000 women. That number is fabricated.
Let's see.
Born in 1936, died in 1999.
Yeah. So
63 years old.
let's say he had a solid 40 years of having sex. 10,000 divided by 40, that's what, 250 a year?
But you said 10,000 divided by 40 is 250 a year.
That's less than one different a day. And you got to assume, like, maybe he had,
Multiples.
yeah, at once. And then probably also, like, oh, I like you, so I'm going to stick with you for, like, a weekend.
That can't count.
I know. Right? So, like, he
Yeah.
had one person
There's
for, like, 6 days,
yes.
and then 10 people over the next three. Like, I have no idea what he did. I mean, it's possible. I don't know how you would tabulate it. Like if you're Will Chamberlain, do you count it, or you just be like, I don't know. You throw out a number. Is it
roughly
mathematicians figure out the
10,000.
yeah? I don't know. Or like he probably didn't have a number. It's like I don't know. Like come on, Will, how many people sleep with him? I don't know. It was a different girl every night. Every night? Yes. So they did the math. Like it's 10,000 people. Sounds about right. Could be.
What's crazy about it is sorry, sir. Double those numbers. In Chamberlain's second book, A View from Above, he claimed to have sex with 20,000 women.
Okay, so 500 a year if he had
Yes.
40 virile years, assuming that's like up until death, just about it.
He said Chamberlain documented his love life using a day timer. Every time Chamberlain had sex with a different woman, he put a check in his day timer. Over a 10-day period, there were 23 checks in the book, a rate of 2.3 women a day. Chamberlain halved that number to be conservative and to correct for degrees of variation. He then multiplied that number by the number of days he had been alive and subtracted 15, giving him the number 20,000. So he took not his mean, but probably the peak of his
Mm-hmm.
sexual prowess, right? And took
Yes.
that as a number instead of I had a bad week. He didn't. There was no real average. He just took that number, did some hocus pocus math on it
Yep.
to get twenty
Like I
thousand.
say, it is no way. Like to me, the only people that claim to have slept with 20,000 women are people who did not sleep with 20,000 women. Right? There's no reason to make that claim. Right? Like, what does that? Does it add to your legend? I guess maybe. But
Of course,
it
at that time it definitely did.
yeah. But it almost feels like a the lady doth protest too much sort of thing,
Don't
right?
protest too much.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm
Yeah,
just.
20,000.
What are you at? What are you at? A measly 3,000? How much more man than you are?
Like what what I have no idea what the average person's body count is. Mine is tragically low or sufficiently low.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Right, it is what it is. I mean, it is a like a small percentage of, like I say, Will
Of
Chamberlain.
will.
But I'm not going to exaggerate to like levels of obscene numbers, right? If anything, I'd be modest.
What if he was truly undershooting it? Like, what if he just was realized, like, man, no, it's a lot. It's a lot. And he just came with this number and that no one checks it. But this is the part that doesn't quite sit right with me. Despite having slept with 20,000 women,
No kids.
there are no known descendants of Wilt
That's what
Chamberlain.
I'm saying. The odds are
That's
way against that.
way,
Yes.
way against that.
All right. So now we got to do this. What are the odds of getting
Tariq Hill can't look at a woman without impregnating her.
yes? What are the odds of getting pregnant when I just want a number? For a single life dependent, I don't care about the dependents. Most couples try to conceive have a 15 to 25% chance of getting pregnant in any given month. So that's attempting to. So a lot of people, it says you have about a 25% chance of becoming pregnant. And like, if you're sleeping with a bunch of random people who you have no idea what their cycle is or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that
Yeah,
is
no way you dodged a bullet 20,000 times.
no, nope.
But what I am finding out that's pretty funny is go online and type it in, and all the people who claim to be Wilt's child. Like, I'm looking. San Francisco man claims that he's descended of Wilt Chamberlain. I just like,
There's no way to prove that or disprove it either.
no. But the one that looks the craziest, have you seen the NBA player that looked just like young Wilt Chamberlain?
No.
Um, what is his name? I forget his name. Oh, dang, what is that guy? Otto Porter Jr.
Oh, I know the player. I have to see him.
Yes. Type in
Oh
Otto
yeah,
Porter Jr. Wilt Chamberlain.
yeah.
Yeah.
That actually is an autocorrect.
That's like, oh,
Yeah, yep. If you would have said that they are related, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. But that's also like the Michael Jordan, Jimmy Butler thing,
yes,
right?
yes.
They kind of look the
Hmm.
same. This one is, yeah. The hairline, and the forehead, and the eyebrows are definitely there.
And the fact that they have the exact same
Mustache and
mustache and
beard,
beard
yeah.
combo is not helping at all. Just
But that's not natural though. They had to like shave to that. So,
yes,
well,
yes.
what if it wasn't? What if that is just how their facial hair grows in? That would be the telltale sign right there.
Oh my God, this is there's a yeah. This guy is holding a picture. This I'm like so many pictures of people's claiming to be I'm Wilt Chamberlain's secret son. 50-year-old claims that his father is legendary star.
Maybe. I think there'd be a lot of really tall kids out there. Well, they wouldn't be kids anymore, right? They'd be in their
The guy's 6'10".
yeah.
The document says his birth parents are a white woman with English French descent and a 6'10" black professional basketball player from Kansas, is what his documents say.
Maybe.
Never, maybe.
I don't know. 20. Man, if you take a
Dodge
gun
the bullet 20.
and shoot 20,000 times in a direction, you're going to hit somebody.
Uh-huh.
Or just shoot
Mm-hmm.
20,000 times up in the air, one of those bullets is coming down and hitting somebody. Several of them are actually. I'm trying to think like what else is like 25% odds, which are kind of high, right?
Yeah. Claimed that he would never have a child, is what Will Chamberlain said. Well, shut up.
I'm trying. You'd have to go through so like I don't know. I don't know what you'd have to do to prevent such things. Like so, even if you were shooting blanks, 20,000 blanks, like Alec Baldwin killed that person with a gun full of blanks,
Oh no.
right?
No. Yeah, so sometimes you slip one through.
Yeah, freaking Bruce Lee's kid died from a
Bruce, yeah,
blank.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
sometimes a blank is deadly. I don't know.
20,000. That's a lot. And that's too many opportunities. And once again, that's 20,000 different women.
Yes. Now here's the
There's
thing
there's
too.
there's repeat offenders.
Yes, I'm sure he didn't keep track of how many times he had an STD.
No, but that number's about 30,000.
But the thing is, like those odds, you know, he's got herpes. And that
Yes.
thing doesn't go. That doesn't ever go away.
No. No. It's just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. Something's not adding up.
Yeah, but we got to this because all the people that don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah, I'm on the not believing the 20,000 people number now.
Yeah, I 100% believe the 100 point
Oh yeah, for
game,
sure.
but this,
I would need 20,000 women to come forward now and say yes.
that's not
Well, not
that's
anymore.
not
The
not.
good majority of them probably dead. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. Man was born in 1936.
Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, Harland.
Oh,
I think on
yeah.
that
Next
note.
week, I'm I'm ecstatic that I know it's just preseason, but
Oh, we got games
the time of no football is over.
officially. Yes.
They played last Thursday. The
Mm-hmm.
Bears won. We don't care.
No one cares.
No one played.
Nope.
Um, so that really, but this is when it starts.
It
You
is.
just hope that your team gets out as injury free as they possibly can.
Yep.
And, but yeah,
Let's get to
we're
real
done with
games.
no more football. We're done with no more
We're
football,
real
though.
close to real games. It's August. We're a month away to
Yes.
real games because the real games start on
Yep.
the
The
9th,
eighth. The Giants play the eighth. So I think the
Yep.
fifth is the first game. Sort of.
Yep. 8, 7, 6, 5, the 4th.
Yeah, that Thursday. Yeah, yeah, less than a month.
Yep. Less than a month away.
Where the Giants dominate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I saw a power ranking from the NFL today. I won't tell you where the Giants
Oh,
finished on that.
I don't care about their power rankings. Those guys are dumb. They don't know anything.
29th.
I'm not gonna tell you. Oh, thank you for that.
And the first sentence, I just can't figure out how they would be higher than this. That was the first sentence. The only
Oh,
people below them were like the Patriots, the
Panthers
Panthers.
probably.
Panthers were 32. Patriots were 31. I can't remember who was 30
I keep telling you, man. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
for the Giants.
Yeah,
It might be. Might be okay. We'll see. They were supposed to be terrible the year they made the playoffs.
we come out the gate with the Vikings.
You never know.
It's
Sam
the
Darnold might
first
light you all up.
game. Second game against the Commanders. We always beat the Commanders.
This is new Commanders, man. This is the Magic Johnson Commanders with Jaden Daniels at quarterback.
Win. That's 2 wins right there.
Maybe.
We start the season off 2-0.
I'm
What's our power ranking at for 2-0?
well, probably 27. What we'll have to do though is before the season starts, we'll have to go through and redo the win losses for our teams. We
Okay.
already did it once.
Mine ain't gonna change much.
But
But
we
yes.
have to do the who's going to win the divisions and the playoffs. So we
Yeah.
have to look back at our way too early predictions.
Hmm.
Look at our reassess because that was pre-draft predictions.
Pre-draft. Didn't we do one after draft though?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me pull up the spreadsheet and see if it's on there. Do 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 do. Oh God, where is it?
There are some tough games in there.
Oh, I can't find it.
That Cowboys, Seahawks, Bengals, Eagles stretch. That's rough. It's a little rough.
Game predictions. So what do we got here? Our last game predictions were we did two early predictions where we picked
Mm-hmm.
and this was a long time ago, where we picked the winners of the divisions, the winners of the conferences, who was going to win rookie and comeback player of the year and defensive player of the year, all that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
MVP, and then who was going to win the Super Bowl. We did those predictions. Whew. I was on something when I did those, and then we just did the win predictions not too
Mm-hmm.
long ago.
Yeah, when the schedule came out, I thought we
Yeah,
did, which would have been after draft.
yep. And we did them for
So
both. You had the Giants at 12-5. I had them at 7-10. You had the Bears at 9-8. I had the Bears at 14-3.
I said 12-5.
Yes,
All right, that might change a little.
12-5. But I had the Bears at 14-3. So
Mm.
there
Yeah,
you
there's
go.
some. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm like 12.
Yeah.
There's a time where the Giants play the Browns, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Eagles.
Do you know you have the Giants starting off at 7-0? I just want to throw it out there. You're at 7-0, 9-1 at the bye, and then finishing 12-5.
Yeah, this is that good. All right, so I see wins here. So people talking 4 wins. Vikings win, Commanders win, Panthers win, Saints win. The Colts, I believe, is a win. The Falcons, we usually dominate Kirk Cousins, and we'll get one of those games against the Eagles. We might get two. We might get the game against the Steelers as well. Where's it at?
At
It's at
Steelers.
Pittsburgh. Oh, okay, it's gonna be tough. But no, there's definitely 6 wins in there.
I had them at seven,
Definitely.
7-10. This is post draft. I think we did this. So
But when the Giants once Malik Neighbors get all up in there, that's 12 wins. I knew. I saw Malik Neighbors
all
and I
right,
knew.
Malik Neighbors
I'm,
getting
I'm,
all up in there.
yep, I'm on the bandwagon. I am looking at the Instagram like, oh, okay, what did you do this today? Oh, it was amazing. It was
Sure,
amazing.
I bet.
I need to. Oh, sorry, this is just stuff that doesn't need to be on the podcast. But I didn't get an invite to that league yet.
Oh no.
Mm-mm. So I'm gonna send it out later.
Okay. I keep roping
Make
you
sure.
into fantasy football opportunities.
I
Before the
never say
draft,
no.
talk to me about how the draft usually goes, because it's an auction draft,
Okay.
and a lot of the players that you were like, oh, I hope I can get this player. They're already on teams.
Yeah, I bet they are. Yeah, I would like to see because I'm inheriting a team.
Oh, do you want me to show
I'd
you?
like. Yes.
It's better than the team I inherited when I joined the league. So just so you know.
Okay.
All right. Do. League.
I got to sign up for what's name too. The guillotine.
Yep. Get that guillotine. So the guy who ran this team before was running it as a bit. His team was called Too Many Cooks, and he would try to get every player named Cook on his team.
Okay. For money? This is the league
Yes,
for money.
yes, he won it one time too. Now, so here's the roster as it currently exists: Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Dalvin Cook, Brandon Cooks, Adam Thielen, Marvin Mims Jr., Jake Ferguson, 49ers defense, Young Ho Koo, Christian
Hmm.
Watson, James Cook, Alexander Madison, Marquise Brown, Jordan Love, Matt Prater. You got two kickers to choose from, and
Hmm.
Cam Akers and Luke Musgrave on IR.
So how much is what do I is it a do I have to pay a certain amount to keep the guys or do I get to keep
So you
them?
get $200, right? That's how much you have to build your roster through the draft and through keepers. The keepers cost whatever they cost the previous year plus 6%,
Okay.
right? So I can tell you what.
Jordan Love might be my cheap one. He
Yeah,
probably
he was a free
costs
agent, so I think he cost $10.
okay.
But I would keep Jalen Hurts too. Let me see.
Yeah, but he was probably expensive. He had a bigger year last year.
Yeah, but I think he may have him cheap though. 2023.
I'd probably keep Bijan too.
I'm gonna look at the draft recap. So let's see. Last year's draft, Christian Watson was a keeper for $10. James Cook was a keeper for $10. Cam Akers was a keeper for $10. These are people that Cook and Akers. Jalen Hurts was a keeper at $22.
Mm.
Bijan Robinson. I don't know if you want to keep Bijan Robinson because he spent $86 on him last year in the draft.
$86?
Yes. So plus the 6%. So
That's half this budget.
yes. But so there's a guy on here who has Christian McCaffrey at $81, and he's kept him for 2 years now.
I got BJ
You
Bijan for more than
Yes, you're not going to want to keep Bijan Robinson. You're not going to want to keep uh, anybody else. To be honest, you want to keep Watson, Love, and probably Hurts, and that's about it.
that's a
Maybe no
lot.
Luke Musgrave. You want to keep. He was a good rookie tight end last year. Got hurt. He only was only $3 in the draft last year.
That's a lot.
So yeah, so defenses and kickers usually go for $1. Quarterbacks usually go for like between $1 and 10. Because most everybody has like guys that you want. Justin Jefferson, he's a keeper. Mark Andrews, he's a keeper. Aaron, Amon Ross St. So this is all on one team. CeeDee Lamb, Amon Ross St. Brown, Justin Jefferson. They're all
You
keepers.
can't keep all of them.
Yeah. $17, $21, and $10.
And I've got Bijan for $85.
86, yeah.
He ruined this team.
Yes. But your team is better than the team that I inherited, just so you know. So what happens is like the top running backs that are left available will go. So there's a chance that Bijan Robinson goes for $86 again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's cheap. It'd be cheaper to get him again at $86 than it would be to keep him, because you'd have to keep him for another.
10% on that, eight
Yeah,
dollars
so
on that.
you're looking at like 90 something bucks,
90
which would be
Bijan?
half. And then if you keep Christian Watson and Jalen Hurts, you're already at like $130. So,
Okay.
but the guys
I
that you
said
want
yes too
are
early.
probably going to be keepers on somebody
Yes, I
else.
said yes too early.
Yes, because you can keep five, right? Like so, I think I'm keeping five this year. I only kept four last year. I actually made the playoffs last year too, but I didn't win any money. Let me see my roster, because I've had Dak both years, and I get him for like $10
Hmm.
in the draft every time. Like nobody wants to touch him, but he's the guy's like fantasy gold.
Yes.
So like I have Devon Achan I drafted last year, Kyron Williams I drafted last year. I'll keep both of those guys. DJ Moore I picked up off a free agency the year before, so I got him for like $10. I'll keep Tank Dell, who I picked up off a free agency last year, and Tajay Spears, who I drafted last year. Like those are all like $10 guys, so I'll keep all of them. The rest of the guys I'll just.
Round your roster out with some maybe get some one or two big names if you can find
Yep.
one.
You're gonna have to. You have to get.
Keep your good cheap guys
Hmm.
and just maybe overspend on
You have
someone.
to. You have to overspend on
Yeah.
somebody. Like, and I try not to over. I let people go after like the big guys and try to figure out who's going to be like a rookie, like a low cost rookie that I can keep. But
Hmm.
like the big guys are already gone, right? The guys that you want are
Yeah.
going to be gone already. So